Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great as we watch the destruction of world fiat currencies all around. However, the focus right now is on Russia and the ruble. So I want to talk about something that I've been warning everyone about for quite some time, and that is the fact that Russia and China don't need SWIFT. And I have a feeling that this is going to usher in us doing what we're doing with the sanctions. Regardless of what side you're on, I believe the outcome will be Russia and China finally splitting off, and the BRICS nations, if you have not heard of that, BRICS, I'd write it up, but that'd take too long, stands for, it's a group of countries, Brazil, India, Russia, China, and after that, very many others signed on an agreement that started in the early 2000s actually, but really started to grab traction in around 2000 and I want to say 2013, if memory serves you right. And the facts are they came up with their own payment processing system too. Remember, SWIFT is very antiquated and archaic, quite frankly. It is a messaging system that banks talk to each other and financial institutions. They say, hey, we're sending you this much money on this date, expect it. And they say, cool, thank you. That's really all it is. And it is old and it's antiquated. It was made in America and we pushed it out to the rest of the world. And now that's how we sanction. We can just turn off institutions. We can turn off people. You know, hey, you can't go and transmit money anywhere. So you're just not allowed to wire money out, all that kind of stuff. So this is I'm going to link this story below. It's entitled The Russian Central Bank Chief Says Alternative to SWIFT Already in Place. Well, a handful of us knew about it. Most of the world doesn't, and I don't think that there are a lot of world leaders that honestly believe that Russia is going to actually do this, but I believe they are. Russian Central Bank Chief said that Russia will fulfill their obligations on the SPFS system. So a couple key takeaways. It says Russia's central bank governor has said that its global payments will continue to function despite the SWIFT ban. Also going on to say, the central bank chief said SPFS, an internally developed payment system, will replace SWIFT. Direct statement. Meanwhile, reports say that the Russian government is working on a one world digital currency for global trade. Yeah, it's true and sort of not true. The work I did a long time ago, the CBDC studies that I did, I noticed that the code is very similar all around the world so that they can talk to each other. They're going to have a different name essentially, but yeah, it's pretty much the exact same thing, just going to have a different name and different rates and inflation adjustments and things like that. But Russia has their own version that they're working on, okay? Every country's working on them right now. US already has theirs done, they're testing it. Like, this is old news. And I hope to anyone that is shocked by this, it does shock you into thinking, oh my gosh, what is about to happen next? And that is a transition into digital currency and away from fiat cash, which means microtransactions, all kinds of crazy stuff. But those are other videos that we'll do later on, okay? All right. So the whole point here is this. Russia and China built something. CIPS is another name for it, or CIPS, the acronym. KIPS? Lips? I don't know. You know, I get my point. Get thrown off and start thinking about acronyms. My point being is this. They already have the system in place. We're already seeing China essentially stand beside Russia. You know, everyone's like, China, you need to tell Russia they're being bad. And they're like, you know, yeah, we may be planning the same thing actually pretty soon. Like, these are real things that are happening, guys. We need to pay attention to what's going on with the money. Facts are, we've seen banking systems shut their customers out of their accounts for protesting, like in Canada. We've seen it like, hey, you're running away from the country, you're locked out, or you know, you can't get money. We've seen all kinds of different things. As a matter of fact, most people don't even remember what happened in Cyprus and in Greece, where we already had, bail-ins and bank runs, right? Now, true, not every bank failed in those countries. Not every bank did a bail-in, but the facts are they did happen. And that's why we want to be a prepared people and take advantage of this, because there's very little we can do other than prepare. You can't really change it because the people that are on this channel right now are the very few, all right? You're a small group of people. Just like the elite are very few people that are wealthy because they live differently than most others. You are different than everybody else because you're spending your time on YouTube and on the internet learning about things and planning and preparing for those things rather than sitting on your phone playing video games, watching videos of cats. Okay, and that's really exciting. And I believe that that group is growing because of people like you that keep watching, keep hitting the thumbs up, and sharing those videos. Because the facts are, there's not a lot we can do to change it, but there is a ton we can do when it comes to being prepared for it. So if and when, and I'm going to say when, China, Russia, along with a bunch of other countries, did I mention India and Brazil, massive GDPs, right? When they all say, you know what, the heck with this, we're going to do our system, it's going to completely cause the Western system, SWIFT, to collapse. I want to remind you that the reason why Russia and China have been doing all of these trade deals outside of the US dollar for all kinds of things from oil to grain to steel is because they're already integrating these deals inside of this payment system. All right, I want people to understand where this is going. This is very, very important and very serious. So what do you do to prepare for this? Well, one of the things is you don't want to be susceptible to your currency. We've already seen what happens with a currency when it collapses, like in Russia, where it falls by about 40–45% in value almost overnight, and where people are completely stuck. They don't have cash to go out and buy fuel, things like that. Everything instantly got more expensive, and you have a real crisis. But guys, this should be waking you up because Venezuela didn't wake you up. Argentina in the past didn't wake you up. Greece and Cyprus didn't wake you up. Hopefully, you're waking up now. Because in such a short time period, we're seeing multiple countries, Canada, Ukraine, Russia, and there's probably going to be some more in this month of March, where you're going to see people lose money drastically due to either inflation or banking regulations. So I want people to understand that one thing you could do is have some cash on hand. Another thing you could do is get outside of the currency in your country. A lot of people are moving to gold, silver, platinum, and palladium right now. A lot of people are buying cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. None of this is financial advice, guys. I'm just a dude with a bro hawk and a dream. But my point being is this. The world is splitting into two financial systems right now. For the last, 70, 80 years, it's been on the dollar standard. It is now breaking apart, and we are seeing it. And this is a very important time to be awake. As a matter of fact, there's never been a greater time. And I'm going to leave you with some hope. Remember, when things collapse, that means there's opportunities. Wealthy people in the past became wealthier during crashes, not during booms. Because when a crash happens, they buy a ton of assets. And then when the boom time comes, it lets them rise in value. And they sell it to all the people at the top, the sheep, the herd. And then it crashes again, they rebuy. Guys, Bill Gates just got out of the stock market. Why do you think that is? All right, guys, that being said, I thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing the videos. The Economic Ninja is out.